Hi, everyone. Welcome to Spirit Guide Chat. My name is Jake, and I just want to welcome all those returning as well as new people. I hope you like, subscribe, and share and hype this video. I do weekly tarot readings on current events, and I welcome any questions on future readings for current events. Feel free to comment below. Let me first start. Let me fix my camera a little bit. It's a little off. I'm a little bit off too the last few days. As you can see, I'm wearing glasses. I do wear contacts normally. However, I did something that I haven't done in decades, because I've been wearing contacts for a long time. And I slept in my contacts. That's how tired I've been with my regular job, and it's just a busy time of year, and I fell asleep and I just slept through the night, and I realized this morning when I went to my contact lens case and I saw they were empty, and then I realized I never took them out last night. So I'm letting my eyes breathe since they didn't breathe last night. Anyway, so there's that. Anyways, we got a lot to cover per usual, right? A lot of stuff is going on. With first being the speech tonight. Today I'm filming this on Thursday, and I tend to publish the videos the same day I do it. So this is Thursday, the 16th of July, and I want to know first off, what will be the effect of the Orange One's speech about alleged voter fraud, in particular in Georgia? That's what it's being, what's being told about the 2020 election was rigged, and we're still going on about it. It's been 6 years. It's been litigated to death. But it isn't a surprise considering the general election for midterms that's coming up in what are we in July? So in 4 months, which is not that long away, but a lot can happen, of course. So let's just see what the effect of tonight's speech from the Orange One spirit, what will it have? What kind of effect will it have on the voters for the midterm? Okay. So first off, we're starting up with reminiscing, the Six of Cups, and I'm thinking, what I'm feeling is that this is reminiscing about when we had normal times. So a lot of people will be thinking about this because, as we already can see, that this question is being asked about the vote from the voters' perspective. The Orange One's already underwater in numerous polls, even polls that are friendly to the Orange One. And so a lot of voters, there's still a minority, a loud minority that are very supportive, and this will never change in regards to this. But there's a lot of people who already are thinking about, let's have normalcy as much as we can with politicians. It's being crossed by the high priestess. Voters are aware that there's some kind of secret going on. It is just, when you hear people talk, they don't have proof yet, but more and more people are feeling like something's off. Something's off. And, if you're watching this, of course, you've already knew this right away. But a lot of people, this is what myself and a lot of other readers have been saying, this is a time where more people are realizing that something's wrong. It's like about time, right, for the rest of us? What voters are looking for is financial security. They can care less about this. 10 of Pentacles. This has already been hashed out. The feeling is the voters are like, we're past this. We're past this. In here is the Star card, and the hope was in the past. They want this to put this to rest. The Four of Swords. People are tired of hearing about this, and they just want to move on. The Page of Swords is coming in the new thing. I think people are going to be expressing their disdain for this. They just are tired of this. Yeah, their feelings are coming up from underneath the surface with the Moon card. I think the Orange One's going to be surprised that there's going to be more people vocal against this. And people are going to be defending. This is how the outside environment will view this speech, is with the Page, or excuse me, not the page, the Knight of Swords. People are defending their beliefs that it wasn't. This is not right. And it's going to be trying to fight off the loud minority, right? With the Seven of Wands. And the voters are going to be content with what they already feel. They already feel that this is already settled, right? And they feel like they already are aware that there might have been foreign influence. The bottom of the deck with the Empress card, which is usually my Russian card, and here it even is fully expanded with the overseas. And what's interesting is we get the Four of Wands. They think actually it's the opposite. More people are believing that the real Russian influence is in the current White House, because this usually is the White House card. Overseas, Russia. That's the real influence, not the election that he lost, but what's already in the White House. Entertainment purposes only, folks, right? Okay, so it just won't bode well. And I've already said that there were people wanting him not do this speech. I think I read on that last week, I believe. But it's just not going to go his way. Okay, I want to recheck this. I know I read, I think I've done it a few times. Excuse me. I'm not talking to you. my watch, my Siri decided to talk. But anyways, what I wanted to check on next, and what I was saying was that I looked into Todd Blanche's confirmation several times, and I see it's no good. And it's already starting. We have Cornyn and Cassidy, the senators from Cornyn's from Texas. Cassidy is from Louisiana. They've both been primaried out. They are been pushing against the president, the orange one, on many different things. Not everything, but quite a bit, the important things. And this is one of them. They're both on this committee that's currently having hearings right now. So what I want to look at is, and I believe both of them are kind of on the fence. I think Cornyn's more so than Cassidy, but it only takes one vote because where they're at, I want to say it's one of the people, was it? I just can't remember. But I think they can't lose. If one Republican wanted to vote no, it's just not going to get through because, of course, the Democrats are going, look what cards came out. We have the swords not moving forward and the tower moment. There's been tower moments already, so this is not surprising. And my first question was going to ask if he's even going to make it to the full Senate floor, because what I'm saying is get to the point. This committee will have, I think, the Judiciary Committee. I was trying to figure out what committee it was, needs to vote for his nomination to even go to the full Senate. And if they don't pass it, it's not going to go to the full Senate. So let's just look if it's going to make it out of the committee, his nomination, Todd Blanche's. Ooh. Okay. Right now, this is the contentment. They think they're kind of smug with the Knight of Cups, that this is going well. There's an imbalance. That's the problem. With they know there's an imbalance. They, as in the senators, know that there's an imbalance in the Department of Justice, and there's strength behind this feeling that they don't want this. Here's the orange one in the past, the Emperor card. There's collaboration going around in the background. I think collaboration is stating how many people are really want to vote for him or get somebody else. There's going to be fast movement on this. They're fearing about, here's the Russia part coming in. They know there's probably some kind of knowledge of some kind of outside money that they're worried about. We have Senator Whitehouse Sheldon Whitehouse, excuse me. from Rhode Island that is done investigations on the Supreme Court. I'm sure he's done some digging on Todd Blanche. Here's the King of Wands. Um, and that's actually my Vance card. And this is interesting because with um, Vance may be part of this conversation because the vice president is the president of the Senate. And there might be conversations with him and thinking that I think when it regards to the Senate, I think a lot of people try to talk to Vance in order to get some reasonable, to talk with the orange one, in regards to that they're not going to get votes. And here's the hidden agenda with the high priestess. So I don't think that this is going to go through, especially those cards that jumped out, the Eight of Swords and the Tower card. So I want to say no. But I do want to see quickly, just to see if it does go out of committee, if he would get confirmed. So I don't see it coming out of committee. I think even just one person may not vote. I think right now the Republicans are in the Senate are using what their power that they can to kind of leverage what they want and pick and choose battles with the orange one. Of course, us light workers would say get it back on and push back on mostly everything, right? Okay. If Todd Blanche Spirit makes it to out of committee and goes to the full Senate, will his nomination pass the Senate? Will his nomination pass the Senate? Will he be confirmed? Boy, I had card that flipped out. Oh, I have two. There's some hope in him walking away. That's the Eight of Cups. I seriously think even if he did, let's just see what the full card that says. But I still think that there's not going to be enough votes if he makes it to the full Senate. Okay, here we go again. The Nine of Cups pops up again. Again, the smugness. The Five of Swords is on the side. I think there are some senators who resent the orange one, and so they want to our card at the base of this reading. I think there are senators who, if it goes to the full Senate, they have issues with the orange one, and they want to express it by rejecting this nomination. Here's the ambition, some kind of maybe offer that was made to him. Here's the surprise with the Page of Cups, Death card. This is not good for this nomination. Like I said, they're going to try to push it forward, but they're going to push back. Here's the White House card with the Four of Wands. The King and Queen of Wands and the hopes and fears. Then here's the Judgment card. I don't think so. And here's a new opportunity for someone else. I want to say with the Ace of Pentacles, I think this is meaning that there's going to be someone else coming in. And a long time ago, I think it was, I said, I think it's this, don't quote me, because I'm like, I want to say it's the EPA administrator. I think that's Lee Zeldin. And it was whispered at the beginning after Pam Bondi left that he was an option other than Blanche. And I'm thinking that it's going to be him. And I believe I said it would. And he'll just stay as deputy. Because he did most of the heavy lifting anyways, if you remember from Bondi, when Bondi, usually you heard Blanche was doing this and that. All right, another one that I'm going to recheck on, which I've said the SAVE Act will pass in a different way. Now, what's currently happening is that the SAVE Act is being attached to the defense bill, which is being filibustered, I believe, in the Senate. So I want to see if the SAVE Act will pass with this defense spending bill or in some edit of this version. Let's just see. Will the Save Act pass in the Senate? Good. There's a lot of apathy. A lot of people in the Senate are not wanting to deal with this with the Four of Cups. They know the orange one wants it, but they're thinking about their own backs with the midterms ahead. The Magician's on the side. They know they're being manipulated in passing this by this being attached. I think King of Cups. I wonder if this is the majority leader, Senator John Thune, who may be trying to smooth things out in regards to this vote. Here's the trickery with not trickery, but the bully, the Five of Swords, bringing this into the factor again. Here we go. The Knight of Swords coming back. This is what they really want to do. And of course, the oligarchies with the King of Pentacles. Again, for this holding on to the votes for the Republicans, which is weird because a lot of people, experts have said the SAVE Act would actually affect a lot more conservative votes, but that's not what they're thinking. From the outside, they want this to put to rest with the Four of Swords. The Hopes and Fears is the Tower card. I think so. There's going to be some collaboration. Again, it's saying that this is going to pass. Yeah, I think this is going to pass. But I want to look the other thing that I haven't checked in a long, long time. I think the first time I did months ago, I think I said that the court is it's going to be, I mean, it's probably already geared up to ACLU or some other kind of organization or maybe attorney generals or somebody are going to, probably not attorney generals, maybe secretary of states because they're different states because they run the elections. So I'm wondering if somebody is going to bring a case. They probably have it already drafted up in case. So Spirit will, if passed the SAVE Act, will someone stop this? Will it be implemented? Will there be a court case that stops it from being implemented? Can't speak today. There is going to be challenges happening with the there's already challenges going on. Actually, this is in the present. Seven of Wands. Eight of Cups is on his side. This is like trying one more time to do this, right? Get this passed. There's a lot of emotions behind this. The Ace of Cups. Six of Cups is in the past. I think there is going to be a breakthrough with the Ace of Swords. There is going to be some kind of victory with the Six of Wands. And then something's going to happen with the Ten of Swords. Something's going to have, there's going to be people coming in with the Two of Cups from the outside. Yeah, the Queen of Swords, here's the lawsuit. And the King of Cups is right here. It's going to be heavy lifting to get this implemented, you know? This is the Ten of Wands. So I'm saying that do not panic if this happens, because I think it's going to be an uphill battle to get this implemented. By the time for the midterms, I believe that the courts are going to put a pause on this while this is being heard in the courts. And even that, it has to go through the federal court system. You have the district courts, and you have to go through the appeals court before it gets to Supreme Court. We're 4 months away from less than 4 months away from the election. It's going to probably not happen in time. And to be honest, the Senate's probably stalling because they know this. They know it will. And even the Democrats, with this filibuster, they're stalling. So they know that it probably won't be implemented in time for the midterms. Yeah. Hangman, there's going to be a pause. There's going to be a delay in this, but it will pass. So I believe in this, and that's been pretty consistent for months now. Okay. One last thing about the midterms, and then I'll check in with Maine. And then we'll have our general message. So let's show me what the. No, let's go to Maine first. Let's go to Maine first, right? If you did not know, 8 o'clock, I believe, 8 o'clock Eastern time, there is going to be a televised debate of the 8 Democratic candidates that are wanting to replace Plattner. It's going to be on, I think, local TV. I don't know if any of the networks or news networks are going to televise it. I'm sure probably part of it. You probably can see it online, maybe on YouTube. You might be able to catch the debates. But that's going to happen. What I'm concerned, I know I checked on Troy Jackson, but I want to look at Shenna Bellows, who's the Secretary of State in Maine, to see how she looks in regards to winning a seat. Now, she is not progressive, as in Troy Jackson. However, a lot of times when it comes to, not all the time, but a lot of times when it comes to scandals against women, like a candidate who's doing harmful things against women, tend to lean on, the party will lean on female candidates to replace them, since they tend to not have those issues, right? So let's see if Shannon Bellows will win the Democrat nomination, and then we'll check in to see how she's doing. I already got 2 cards in, jumping out. She's going to have financial backing, probably from the establishment, with the 10 of Pentacles, and she's been planning on this, the 2 of Wands. I think she knows that she already has the backing of the establishment. So, Shannon Bellows. Okay, we have 2 Wands coming out right away again, making plans. The Lover's card. So there's not everyone's on board with her, okay? Even though she has the establishment, but not everybody's on board. Probably Plattner is probably one of them. There is some negativity that she has on this, because she doesn't feel fully footed into going ahead. Here's in the past. This is in regards to Plattner with the scandals, with the Devil card. There is going to be fast movement about this. The decision making. I forget when the convention is going to be. With the Chariot card, King of Wands. I wonder if that's who's in charge of the Democratic Party in Maine. There is going to be some apathy towards her. Not so great with the 4 of Cups. But she's going to stand her ground with this, especially with this debate. What I'm feeling with the 9 of Wands, she is going to be a strong candidate that candidates are going to go up against her. She's worried. This isn't a fear. This does not necessarily mean she's walking with the 8 of Cups. But here we go. Ace of Swords. That's a really big sign that, yeah, she's going to have a breakthrough with maybe it's tonight in the debate or shortly after, and she's going to get enough delegates. And here's this with the 10 of Cups. Normally it's voters, but the voters are not going to be voting. It's going to be at the state Democratic convention, and the delegates are going to go coalesce around her. Okay, coalesce around her. All right. So there's that. Now, let's see if she will be Collins in November, if she's chosen, right? Shenna Bellows, if she's chosen, will she be... Woo! That was the King of Swords that popped forward. She's going to be disciplined, and because she knows what she's going to be up against if she's chosen. So let's see, come November, if she's chosen, will she win? Okay. You saw me shuffling. We start with the King of Swords. King of Swords. So she will be disciplined. The Chariot card's on the side. Again, She is she has to be careful. She needs to make sure she is disciplined because she could make some missteps, which can be not good. Here we have the Hermit card, which there's going to be soul searching. In the past, they're wanting balance with the Temperance card. There is going to be some disappointment early on with the Eight of Cups. And I'm wondering if this is going to be, maybe she was wanting Plattner's endorsement and he refuses to give it to her. Maybe that's what it is. But she's going to do well with donors, with the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, here's the Emperor's card, the abundance there. She is going to be seen as someone who's very compassionate, in touch with their feelings, with the Queen of Cups. They're in hopes that she hopes she's prepared and whatnot with the Three of Wands. And here's a strong yes card with the World card. So that's a very good sign for her. Yes, she will. She will beat Susan Collins. She is much younger. She is more in touch with feelings. I think a lot of people feel that Collins is out of touch with the voters. But she's still strong. She is a big political machine. So you're in Maine or know people in Maine, please let them know to vote come November. Okay, one last question before we have our general question is voter turnout in November. What's the energy with voter turnout in November? Now, midterms typically are not a huge voter turnout year. Obviously, this is different. I feel the energy is much different with this, but let's see what Spirit says in regards to this, right? That's what we're here for, to hear what Spirit has to say. All right. Here is the Eight of Pentacles right now. People are actually starting to really look at and work on paying attention to candidates. The Six of Wands is on the side. But there is the issue is the energy right now is that they have a lack of confidence that we can flip enough seats to make a difference. Okay. I think people are exhausted and tired, but they're ready for a rebirth. Here's the Judgment card on the base. That's a good sign. They're wanting a new phase going on. Page of Wands is in the past. A lot of social media and things like that are going to be going on in regards to this. There is going to be a breakthrough with the Ace of Swords, with voters. There is going to be some kind of apathy over the next few months, the 4 months we're going through. They're worried about things like with the devil. They're going to feel very disconnected, down and outs. But then we have here, we're making progress with the Two of Planning and progress, the Two of Wands. People are still pushing back. There's enough people. And the hope is to get people the Lovers card. So maybe some former MAGA, but mainly independents with the Democrats this time. And there's just a thirst for something new with the Page of Swords. And that's also younger people too will really come out. So it kind of gives, the Spirit actually gave a good picture of what's going on right now, the apathy, the disconnectedness, the worry that things are not going to change, but they do want to change. And there is a breakthrough. There is a fight in regards to in wanting to do a change. And overall, there is going to be a change with, like I said, with independents that may have voted for that go either way, and young people are going to help with the midterms that maybe don't usually vote in the midterms, okay? So, all right. We're doing the Oracle card, time for our general message. And this is, again, I've told you before, this is one of my favorite ones, Queen of the Moon Oracle. This is by Stacey DeMarco. This is what I'm using. I love this deck again. And what I'm going to do, if you're new here, is that I normally pull 3 cards and continue on until I feel Spirit is done giving the message. So Spirit, give us the message for the general audience. a message that you feel is most important right now for everyone to hear. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Ooh, that one wanted to jump. We'll stop there. Yeah, this is what. How interesting. Okay. We're first starting out with the extremes. This is we're talking about the moon card, moon, the phases. So we're talking a lot about emotions. So we need to be watching out for swings in people's emotions, even our own selves. And they're saying to create boundaries to protect ourselves. If you see in this artwork, there's protection from these extreme um, uh, mood swings, so to speak, right? Because things are changing, things are blossoming, we are seeing rapid change right now. We already see it, and this is just the beginning of it. And I just want to remind everyone that even when one day when the orange one's not here, we still have a lot of work ahead to correct things and protect ourselves moving forward. So please hang in there because it is going to be a lot of work ahead. All right. We all chose to be here for that reason because we are strong and we're capable, right? Okay. The realization here that the light is coming at the end. See, we're in this area right now, darkness, but see, we're in the sunlight here. We're on at the opening, right? And then will begin the creation. What I just was saying. What I was just saying, that there was a lot of work ahead and a lot of creating. Part of fixing things too and rebuilding things is also the creation process. And also finding pleasure where we can. Shining our light that's inside of all of us. Don't let things dim our light. Let it shine during this time because it's probably the most important. In acceptance that things are going to change. Things are not going to be the same as they used to. Even when we move past this era, this is not going to be back to the same old, same old. It is going to be something new, and we have to accept that. We have to, and protect ourselves. This goes back to the boundaries, and and also during this process, this is all with this purity card with this white in winter where we're at. It's a part of cleansing things, right? Despite how we may hate what's going on, this is part of a way for us to rebuild, right? The destruction and is going to set us up for rebuilding. Having faith, I need to cover up not that showing nudity, but I'm just not taking chances with YouTube. Faith that she is covering herself, but yeah, you know. And be careful about our fear, going back with the protection and boundaries to protect us out from fear and to take action. I'm going to do one more set because I just feel like we're almost there to completion. Looking at the beauty out in the world, looking at the beauty, and not only out in the world, but within us. We're all light workers here, and that's beautiful as well. So don't forget to look within ourselves for beauty because we're going through change right now. And in remembering how much abundance we do have, no matter how hard things get, like financially or even emotionally, we have to remember the things that we have. The things that we have. Maybe you have a place to live. Think about your job. Maybe you think about your family and friends. Thinking about the neighborhood you live in, maybe the church you belong to, the community you belong to. Those are all part of abundance. And sometimes when we're so upset about something or so tired of something that's draining us, there's a lot of things we can think about that we have that is abundant. And we have to remember those things because that's what drives us forward. And also remember, it's part of gratitude as well. So, all right. That's a great message from Spirit to remind us to set boundaries, protect ourselves, shine our light, find beauty, and have gratitude. With that, remember to like, subscribe, and comment. And if you can hype it, that would be great. Help myself and other readers like myself That is wonderful. I appreciate you and thank you. Until next time.